I've been putting my application in. Okay, really obsessive. Okay, I've been putting in endless hours, endless time, endless days with all of those kids. I made relationships with those children. Man, they call me all the time. Are you open in the center today? Are you open in the center today? But it seems like nobody really cares about that. And also, I want to say, it brings joy to my heart to do that because my father used to coach a league ball team. I mean, it's nothing for me to go out and do something dumb or maybe go out and talk to some other people and get something going on. I can get a basketball team going on, any of that. I just need the backing. I don't need people talking behind my back and doing goofy stuff. I mean, I'm a man too. If y'all want to be talked to like a person, talk to me like a person. Don't let me do all that work over there or whatever the heck I'm doing and y'all think I'm just slacking off. No, I deal with all these kids. At times I have 50-something kids in that gym. And for me to just hear that, and like during spring break, I open the gym every day for the kids while they were on spring break. Okay? Now I want to do it during the summer, but to read what I read, I'm like, man, for real. Wow. And I'm upset. I mean, I got some more I want to say, but my minute's over with, but y'all should think about that.
That man speaking up. It's not nonsense. I have things to say.
Excuse me. Sorry. Thank you. Okay, go ahead, ma'am.
I would like to ask, because I placed a FOIA last week and I haven't gotten an answer, of course, which I probably won't, but I can't hear you.
You have to state your name first.
Pat Couch. C-O-U-C-H, for those who would like to know. I put in a FOIA regarding work that's being done in the Sauk Village parking lot that we have not seen anything on the budget or has it been brought up before our board. I put in a FOIA because I'd like to have a copy of the contract for all work being done at the Sauk Village Hall. Provide the name of the contractor. Is the contractor licensed in Sauk Village? Was the job presented and posted for anyone to place a bid? Was this work approved by the village board? And why is an outside contractor allowed to work?
Excuse me. The door has to remain open. The door has to remain open. Go ahead.
And can you ask the ones that are out there to make move to the side so we can't hear?
Go ahead, ma'am.
And I'd like to know if a permit was issued for this work. That's number one. Number two. I have been having issues for months on end regarding a pit bull dog that lives behind my house. It's probably going on 2 years now, Mr. Police Chief. That dog is still there, never been removed, and it's inside a contained yard at the moment. But those children, when they come home, that dog gets out. Yesterday, I'm sitting in my backyard, and that dog barked incessantly for over an hour. And I do have a picture of it. Something was supposed to have been done when that dog was attacking people and other critters. And nothing has been done because it's still there. So I'd like to know if and when, and we do have a vicious dog ordinance, which you're aware of. I want something done. Thank you.
Linda Kimbrough. I don't really have comments, I just kind of have a question. I think I spoke up a few weeks ago at the meeting about an abandoned house next to me that me and the neighbors have all been commissioned to cut the grass. I don't have a problem cutting front grass, it's kind of good exercise for me and get used to the snakes, but the problem is the backyard is past my hips. I refuse to go back there and cut it. So my question is, how do I get that house on the list for the village to come? like I said, they just can do the backyard. I'll be more than happy with the neighbors, keep pushing and do the front. But none of us want to go in that backyard. Thank you.
Go ahead.
Judy Gasker. First of all, I'd like to comment on the rudeness of some of the people in here tonight. They happen to be ex-trustees. I get up here and I say what I feel and what I think is right. I have never stood up here and lied. I always come with a backup. We're going to go back to when you were in the campaign. Or before that, when you were with Towers and Mayor Hanks, and you fought with them because they were doing things that you felt were not right. He was taking away the trustees' jobs. He was not doing what you thought was right. You indicated during the campaign that we would not need J.W. Thurman anymore because you were going to retire and you could do the job. You kept talking about saving money, and saving more money, and it sounded really good. But what a lot of people don't know, and people are being called liars because they say things, is that prior to election day, you already had a crew picked out for hiring. It was a done deal. A lot of money was going out that the board didn't even know about. The board did not approve it in the beginning. We need to go back, and I think you need to go back and stop and think and look. You are doing things that you got against others, and yet you're doing it yourself, and you're doing it as of right now. The parking lot being fixed, as Pat said, that didn't come before the board. That's spending money. That's the trustee's job to decide, not yours. You keep spending money and doing what you want to do, and you ignore the trustees. And then you're upset that the new trustees are in there and they're fighting. They're not fighting because of you. They're fighting because of what you are doing, that you yourself put down and down and down with the others, but not for yourself. You need to look back at the things you said and did, and then look at what you're doing today. And it is not what you said you were going to do. You lied to us.
On Coleman, want to piggyback on what this lady was talking about as far as spending money. Okay. I just have a question. How much money has been spent concerning for attorney fees for the month of May, just 1 month? And I'd like to know, so maybe we can compare it to what we've been spending on a monthly basis. How much money, again, how much money are we spending on attorney's fees, which has been implemented by the current trustees? Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. Very sad. It's interesting how people have so selected. Larry Sapp. That's right. Yeah, with these selective memories about, you want to complain about the parking lot being fixed, you don't complain about have an executive branch and a legislative branch of government here. And from what I can see, the legislative branch is usurping power from the executive branch, doing things that they really don't have authority to do. I question the governor's office of ethics, and these things are unethical. When did you all qualify to do interviews, do hires? It's not your job. You're supposed to be writing budgets, monitoring how the money is spent, and spend it in such a way that it benefits the taxpayers, that it benefits me. In the parking lot being fixed, the first time I've seen any expenditures that benefit anything. Everybody's trying to grab money. We've got 2 trustees suing the people that they're supposed to be representing, trying to get money. It don't make sense. It's unethical. A lot of y'all should be in jail, to tell you the truth. But people see things the way they want to see it when it benefits them the most. You all were elected to represent us, take care of our funds, take care of this village. That's not being done. We have people complaining about the parking lot being fixed.
Okay. The answer to this, the first person that asked the question about the sign. When I first saw that sign, I too was overwhelmed and thought it was a shame that in 2019 we saw something like that going, that a person had the audacity to put it out there and they don't care. I don't know how much I haven't talked to the lawyers about it. I did talk to some other people about it. But I'm going to find out, and I'm going to actually go as a olive branch to this person's house tomorrow, knock on their door, and ask them why. I didn't look, I was hoping that somebody else would have came out, and it's a shame that one person actually mentioned about that sign, but that sign's been out there for a while. But that being said, ma'am, I will go by there tomorrow. I will ask why is this there? And everything you stated is true. It will incite. It will bring harm to that house if someone wants to take matters into their own hands. It will start a lot of other controversies just to, that sign just to be there. It's a shame that it's here in the neighborhood, and I haven't seen many more people say anything about that, but we talk about other things. This is something that's detrimental. This is something that should not be even existing in today's society, and kids see that and they see nothing to be done. So I will make a stop there tomorrow, ma'am. I don't know what's going to come of it. I'm hoping that the person is reasonable. If not, then I may have to go to the next step. I don't know. I'm not preluding. I'm not. I should say what may or may not happen, but I will tell you this, I will be there. Because it is a shame.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it doesn't make sense for something like that to be in any neighborhood, let alone Sauk Village. And it's very offensive, and it does. So, ma'am, I thank you for standing up, saying something about that. And it's not that it went on deaf ears. I was just waiting to hear. You got almost 10,000 people here in the village, and only one person said something. So I will definitely be there tomorrow. And we'll see what happens. We hope that it doesn't. And I'm hoping that it doesn't escalate, but I will be there. First, the gentleman was talking about the position as Parks and Recs. This person has been volunteering since I've asked him, since he came to me and told me that he would volunteer. I don't know if he put an application in for that position, but you have been, you've been doing a yeoman's job over there with the kids, opening it up. I haven't seen, I haven't heard of any violence. I'm not on wood, but I haven't heard of any violence or anything like that. It's something for them to do, and you did it out of the kindness and the goodness of your heart without asking for anything. So that goes a long way, and believe me, that's something that I will look into when it comes time to fill that position for the Parks and Recs director on a part-time basis. I'm glad so many people are interested in the parking lot. It looks nice there. So, that being said, that was one of my things that I had put on a wish list way back when we had wish lists out to different department heads. And that was something that was put in there. I will get the contract to the trustees so they can see the contract. I think the guy did it for a reasonable amount. I'm not sure, I'm not going to say how much it is. I'm not sure of the exact number, but I know it was reasonable. And if something hasn't been done, I haven't seen parking lot done in 4 or 5 years. It's been a long time. So, and I also talked to the Public Works about that. These are some of the things that Public Works is stretched out. They got a lot of trees. People are talking about trees that need to be cut down. Water main breaks that were done, but they need to be regraded out. There's a lot of different things that have to be done. For them to stop and do the parking lot right now, I mean, they're overwhelmed with a lot of stuff, and they've even mentioned that. They're going to have to do the same thing when it comes to the fire hydrant. We have to outsource that because our department probably cannot do it. It's not going to impede their money. They're going to still get paid. They're going to still have work to do, and there's plenty of work to do. But it's just something that needs to be done, and it needs to be done in a timely manner. The person that talked about the high grass, if you can give me that address, we can pass it on to the person that's doing cutting grass for the abandoned homes. So if you get that number, that address to me, I can definitely take care of that. And as far as the attorney fee, I just got the letter. I haven't given it to the department heads yet. I'm sorry, not the department heads, to the trustees yet, so I'm not going to mention how much it was to the trustees, see exactly how much was billed for the month of June, and hopefully I'll have that ready for them tomorrow, and have it out in their boxes tomorrow so they can see how much. I just got it yesterday. So I will definitely pass that on to the trustees so they can see it. And then after that, if you want to see or somebody wants to come up and ask about that, they can. But right now, I don't want to put it out there for the amount right now until the trustees get a chance to look at it. Okay. That being said, next item, mayor's report. I'm happy to announce, and I'm sure this board knows about it. They didn't vote on it because it was done in the previous board, but there were 2 people on the board that we were trying to refund our bonds, and just wanted to let you know that that process has happened. That money has been put into the bank. It's really money that we've got for refinancing of the bonds in the TIF area. Over there where Winpack and those businesses are located, we rewrote those bonds. They would pull out $2.5 billion. I think it's 2.4 after fees are paid. And we're going to use that to finish doing infrastructure over there in TIF only. It's only going to be used for TIF We don't have to pay the bond is being paid for by the TIF, so that's a good thing, but we can use the money because eventually we're gonna have to have done that work on the streets and any other infrastructure repairs with village money because it's a village property, so we were able to take that money, able to get that money refinanced and use that to, upgrade and update our infrastructure over there in TIF 2 and TIF 3, which is located. One is on the north side of Sauk Trail, right there by Mark Collins Drive. The other one is on the south side of Sauk Trail in that area right there. If you've been back to each one of them, they need to be. They've never been regraded, so it's a lot of truck traffic that has to be taken care of. So that money there is going to be used for that. We can't use it for anything else. It has to be something that's related to TIF. That's all that. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Opening up the bids. These are the bids for the elevated tank riser. And this elevated tank riser has to be fixed. And these are the bids for that. And first one is Telcorp Inc. Telcorp Inc. They submitted the bid today. This is out of Joliet. Right. I got one more. Oh, you need another sheet? Oh, I'm sorry. Right. Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Is somebody needs to know? Okay, again, this is Telcorp Incorporated. They do have a bond, it's 10% of the amount of the bid. And the amount of the bid for the riser pipe replacement alone is $110,000. And the installation is $10,000, making the total bid $120,000. Okay. The insurance bond is in here. Yes, sir. That's that old engineering come out of here. Okay, the next one is okay, bond. It's also 10% of the price, guaranteed. Okay, the price of the work for the rising pipe replacement is $54,500. And the installation is $15,000. So, yeah, probably add it up. So let me go. $69,500 for the total price. And, as I said before, they do have a bond. But these are the two we'll pass these on to Robinson Engineering. And you can look at them, come back. Give it a professional basis. That's all that I have. Next, Madam Clerk.
Mr. Mayor,
Village Engineer, Mr. Jim Brown. All right.
Thank you, Mayor. I would like to give an update on our progress for the Logistics Center Phase 1 study. As a reminder about the project scope, the Sauk Village Logistics Center is an industrial logistics park located in the northwest corner of Sauk Village, Illinois, northwest of the intersection of Illinois Route 394 and Sauk Trail. The western half of the Logistics Center has been developed and provided rail access by the Canadian National Railway, or CN. The eastern half of the park is undeveloped and does not have rail access. This project provides rail access to the eastern half of the Logistics Center using a loop connecting the proposed rail infrastructure on the eastern half of the park with the existing rail infrastructure on the western half of the park. The project will provide roadway extensions of Winpack Way, west of Cottage Grove Avenue, and a new loop road east of Mark Collins Drive. Invest in Cook funds will be used to help cover the cost of Phase 1 engineering. The use of Cook County Invest in Cook funds requires that the Phase 1 study be completed to IDOT standards and receive Phase 1 IDOT design approval. Progress to date includes the following. First, the kickoff meeting was held with IDOT on June 6th. Second, we are ready to proceed with topographic survey of the project area as soon as CN provides their permission to access the railroad tracks. The wetland investigation is also commencing. And finally, we are issuing an environmental survey request to IDOT. And that concludes my report. Thank you, Mayor.
I just wanted to ask you about the, if you kind of enlighten us on the project that's going to be starting pretty soon on 2021st.
Sure. So this year's MFT and CDBG project is on 221st and it goes from Sauk Trail and it routes around to Orient, I believe. And so we're going to be doing resurfacing of that roadway, and there's just going to be a small exclusion area, which is the bridge where the culvert is. We didn't have the funding to get that done this year, but hopefully we'll get that done next year. Brand new pavement in that area, sidewalk, curb and gutter repair, structure adjustments, and that should be starting, we should be starting work on that on Monday.
Thank you. Item number D, Treasury Report, Mr. Anthony Finch.
All right, thank you, Mayor, Madam Clerk, trustees. The first thing we want to look at is the accounts payable payroll list. As you can see, the net payroll was $128,030.52 for the payroll ending July 5th. Accounts payable as of July 9th was $142,941.33. Pretty much that's it. Going forward, the accounts payable probably for the next couple of months, next couple of weeks, is probably closer to $100,000 because I want to see how the cash flow comes in for the month of the summer. Just get an idea. Because like I said before, my whole focus is make sure we have cash to pay the bills that we're expending. Then I'll be working with the department heads as different invoices come in to make sure that there's not a priority as far as what invoice I get paid in the next 2 or 3 weeks. So you probably see that number come down slightly until we get an understanding of what's going on with the finances. Because tax season, that's somewhat past, and the next one I'll get right back up until like September, October. Other than that, that's all I have for the accounts payable list.
Thank you. Report to the departments. Did you have anything?
The other report that I have, you guys have, is the cash balance report, and this is as of Friday, this past Friday. We still have the money in the reserve fund of $800,000. We have roughly $564,000 in available cash on hand right now. And as the mayor stated earlier, we in the Tiffin district has got additional infusion of $2.4 million that's going to be used throughout the district. Other than that, that's all that I have for cash. And then the, like I said, with the accounts payable, the majority of all the bills is still paid at this time.
Thank you. Fire department, Captain Sullivan.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Fire Department responded to 35 calls for service for the period from June 20th through July 5th. There were no major incidents. We'd like to remind everyone that now that summer has finally arrived, please check your neighbors to make sure they are safe during temperatures of extreme conditions. That concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Police department, Chief Malcolm White.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Normally, I would read off the numbers of the calls for service and the arrest. Instead, my report will address Ms. Johnson's concern. Ms. Johnson is absolutely right. These numbers mean nothing if your quality of life is not being improved. There's clearly a breakdown in communication. Number one, the police department has been doing something about it. In fact, my officers called me at home on the 4th, and I came in and I asked them what they had done about it up till then. They did take a case report. They did take pictures of it as evidence. What I told them was, get me a complainant. We want a full report, not just a ticket. We want teeth in this so that we can go after this guy and sanction him to force him to take it down because it's up on private property. The ordinances that you read are under the code enforcement. However, again, when I say communication, the part where communication might have broken down wasn't just the information given to you, but also my office that following day should have probably contacted code enforcement. And then that way we work together. We try and work together on different things. But you are absolutely right. It is absolutely offensive. The officers did go by and speak with this gentleman, who of course was ignorant with them. All what we were trying to do is, we were looking at it from a criminal aspect, where if we can get a complainant, and have an actual name so that he doesn't go on to court and then demand witnesses. That's the issue. Again, I'm a bit upset with this because I haven't spoken with you, nor has your name come across my desk. Those officers were told to find the complainant, but that would have to have come from the CAD, from the dispatch center. I'll take that up with them. I think that's the issue where the ball was dropped, because I know for a fact that officers went over there again and there were calls, but they kept coming in anonymous. And we wanted to get a specific name so we could address it. So Ms. Johnson, please do not leave tonight without meeting with me. Not just giving me your name. You need to meet with me. And any other citizen, I would like for your names to also be on the complaint so that we can go after people that believe that for whatever reason we're not one village. I agree with the mayor that someone should go over with an olive branch. It should be more than just the mayor. There's 4 or 5 churches within a half mile of the same home. We have to be one village. When I give my meetings, and those of you who have been to my meetings, when I first come in the room, I make everyone sit on the same side of the room for a reason. We are one community. And we don't know what issues this guy might have, whether they're mental, whether they're just being facetious, but that's offensive. And that's why we were going after it aggressively on that end, as opposed to something where he could just walk into court and demand proof, and then it gets pitched. Mr. Mayor, I will escort you over there tomorrow. I'll come in soft clothes to not be as intimidating, but this will be addressed to the point of every day that it's still out there, he'll be issued another citation. But we needed the names. But thank you for bringing that up. If anyone does have any concerns and still wants to report, we had 449 calls for service. But again, that's a moot point. The objective is that we all work together, that your property value does increase instead of decrease, and that everyone feels as though they're a part of this village. Mr. Mayor, that ends my report.
Thank you.
449 calls for service, 7 arrests.
Emergency Management Agency, Director Allen Maverick.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Board of Trustees. Just a couple of things. This Thursday, we have our monthly SMART meeting. It's going to be in Sager. And approximately 12 o'clock midnight tonight, we're supposed to be getting some heavy rains. And Wednesday evening, we're supposed to get heavy rains, winds, and possible hail. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Community and Economic Development Interim Director, sign report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Madam Clerk, and trustees. I also want to say something to Ms. Johnson. She did come in my office and was very upset about the sign. And I didn't know what else to do but to tell her to come to the meeting to voice her concerns. And this way we know that she can get some action. So, anyway, for my report, the Gas and Wash grand opening was a success. Gas and Wash currently employs over 100 people from the local community and plans to add more jobs when the car wash opens. The car wash is scheduled to open on August 12th. Amy's Cafe also had a successful grand opening on July 3rd. I met with Mr. Pondexter yesterday regarding rezoning of property located at the intersection of Lincoln Highway and Transportation Drive. A developer would like to open a truck repair bay as well as a plaza to include a fast food restaurant. Pro Champs, since Sauk Village started working with Pro Champs, We have registered over 55 vacant properties and will receive $11,000 in reverse revenue as a result. That concludes my report.
Thank you.
May I have a copy of that report, please?
Okay, reports of trustees, standing committees and comments. Trustee Gary Bell.
Safety Committee's meeting will be Tuesday, the 16th at 11 a.m. here in the Rotunda. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Public Service Committee, trustee Bernice Brewer.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The assessment program was scheduled for July 19th, which was going to be canceled for a later date because of funding. Hopefully we'll get it in 1st of August. They're waiting on the funding to come in. And right now we're focusing on some funding for meters. I understand Robinson Engineering gave us a summary of kind of things that we can work on, so that's going to be our focus for the Public Service Committee. Now, as far as the lawsuit that everybody keeps mentioning, I just want to say that the lawsuit is not costing the village, well, I should say, the lawsuit pertains to freedom of information requests. Every resident here, every resident in the United States have a right to know what's going on with your finance. Since I've been in office, it is impossible to get any information. We don't get any reports, and whatever you give it, it does not pass the smell test. So I have been on the quest since for the last 2 years to get information pertaining to what's going on with our financing. And of course, since Mr. Finch came in, we get a lot of information now. The reporting could be a little better, but we're working on it. So, as residents, you have a right to know. That's why you voted for trustees to get information. For all those people who don't want information, then you don't have to take it. But you should know what's in your bank account. You should know why we're $2 million in the hole. You should know what happened to the Osland grant money. That's $80,000 nobody could account for. You guys should know what's going on with your finances. And since we don't get any reports, there's no way for you to know. That's our job, to watch the money. Now, in addition to that, you got to understand that your constitutional rights are being violated when you can't get a freedom of information report from anywhere. Not only me, the residents have been planning and sending up freedom of information report for the last 2 years and haven't gotten a response. The mayor doesn't have the right to deny you that information. That's a constitutional right. Get that information. Now, since I couldn't get the information, I had to sue. I'm a trustee. I should be able to walk in there and ask for whatever I need to ask for and get it. I haven't been able to get it. And I make it perfectly clear every time I come in there, I'm not getting that information. I need the information, and you guys need the information to make an informed decision. That's what we were voted in for. I'm giving you a report, and you can stop. You control your meeting. Excuse me. Well, then check it. Okay. Excuse me. Excuse me. I'm not supposed to my report.
Okay, I'm just telling you, we're not interacting.
You interrupted.
I was, yes, I did, because we're not interacting.
Okay.
I did, disruption, yes, I did.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mayor. So to make the long story short, is that you as residents are entitled to information. We haven't been getting it. There's no reason why you can't come in there and ask for a copy of something, especially if it belongs to finance. We haven't been getting it. There's no reason. So, and since I've been here, somebody could explain to me why we're not getting that information, and he could sit up here every week and violate Illinois state statutes, then we good.
Please.
And
Hold it. Go ahead and finish, this is comments, so go ahead.
perfect example is the senior center. I asked for a report to find out how much money is in that budget. You think I got that?
Trustee, are you asking questions or are you making sure?
No, I don't know why you guys keep interrupting. This is my report. My report is freedom of information report. Okay. Okay.
Just a second.
Okay, hold on a minute. I'm a trustee, and I'm supposed to, what?
All I did was ask you a question.
This is my report, freedom of information report.
No, that's not your department. What about my ward? What about the ward? What about my ward? That's your department.
You got him, okay, you wanna know about your report?
We're not gonna, hold it, just one hold it. We're not gonna go back and forth. Don't tell me to talk to who I'm talking, I'm saying, I'm making a statement. I don't need that to talk to the people.
Well, I'm giving my report.
Are you gonna let me finish? You're not?
Are you through yet?
No, I'm not through.
Okay, go on.
Are you gonna let me finish?
You go on.
You have,
I have the floor.
okay. You have,
Yes.
are we gonna continue to keep on making? I'm just, you have to let me finish. First of all, if you're giving a report, that's one thing. Giving comments, that's another. When you start asking questions, and you say, and you're making comments that the audience should answer whatever, that's not a report. You're engaging now. And I say we're not even doing the engaging. If you have a report, if you have something to say that. But when you start asking questions, now you're asking somebody to engage, somebody to answer, somebody to make a comment about it. This is for comments and it's for your report. That's what this, if you want to talk to a resident after the meeting, more than happy to do that. Right now, we're trying to conduct business. Give your report that you have, and let's move forward. That's all I'm asking.
Excuse me, Mr. Mayor, if I had the floor.
What does that mean? Hold on.
Finish that.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
No, I'm not
I'll
finished.
wait till you finish.
Okay, but then, like I said, we're not going to go back and forth. I'll ask for a recess if we continue to keep doing that. This is a meeting to conduct business, not to have a grandstand, not to sit up here and debate, going back and forth. This is our business meeting. We vote money in and out, legislation in and out, motions in and out to approve certain things. That's what we do. Now, if you have something to say, fine, I have no problem with that. You can have the floor, say what you feel or whatever, but when you start going back and forth, asking questions, now it becomes a debate. And we will not debate at a board meeting. If you want to talk to the residents after the meeting's over with, after they adjourn, have no problem with that. But right now, we're going to conduct business. So if you have something else that you want to bring in your report, have no problem with that. But when you start making accusations and things to that nature, that's not a report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. As I go on, since I had the floor, and I have the freedom of speech, and I go on with my report, and I'm talking about the freedom of information request that you guys are not getting. The mayor, the former board and the mayor is withholding your information from you.
Now, okay. Trustee, now you're making accusations. Now, we're not going to do that.
Okay.
We're not going to do that. In that regard, since you're making accusations, the lawyer's standing right here. I'm going to move on to the next person because you're not here to make accusations at an open board meeting.
Mr. Mayor,
I'm-
you cannot interrupt my.
Yes, I just did.
Mr. Mayor,
You're making accusations.
you
You're
cannot
making
interrupt me.
accusations.
I'm making my report.
Point of order. Point of order.
My report is, I'm talking about freedom of information and what's happening with public service, and public service involves freedom of information.
I have a point of order.
Okay.
which means that we will not go on with this. We have to move on to the next thing. That's what the point of order means. So now we're moving on to
Mr. Mayor, I still
the,
need some clarity on there. Can I ask the
a
attorney for
trustee
clarity?
called a point of order.
Can I ask
You
some
have
clarity,
your
Mr.
rule of
Mayor?
order. A point of order means we're not gonna debate back and forth. Conversation is done, trustee. Conversation.
My report is not finished.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry that it's not. Okay. Budget and Finance Committee, trustee Roger Grant.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So somebody mentioned, I think Trustee Brewer just mentioned that. Wait, let me finish. This is my report.
Okay, there you go.
So he just mentioned that we're in violation of Illinois state statute. I just want to say that to the mayor and the board that we don't pass a budget by August 1st. We have big problems. So Mayor Board, we need to pass a budget as soon as possible. Otherwise, that we are in shaky ground, and that's what we don't want to be on. So that's my comment for my committee. I believe that we have within the first quarter of our fiscal year, which started May 1st, to pass a budget. We have not done that yet. So in regards to, I do have a comment. Somebody made a comment that trustees, we can't spend money without trustees' approval. And I would say that that's the purpose of the budget. The trustees pass the budget, therefore we give the department heads or whoever else the right to spend money. And so somebody wanted to see a copy of the contract for the parking lot up here. And to me, in my opinion, it's like, for what? The work got done. You know, the parking lot looks nice, it's not bumpy, it won't bust a tire or anything like that. So what difference does it make? The work got done. But nobody asked for a FOIA request when it was 95 degrees in here 2 weeks ago and the air conditioner was off. So why, if you don't pick and choose what you want to see and not see based on who you think wanted the work done, be fair. So also, I just do want to do, since we did get the work done, this would be a hot topic about this parking lot. Mr. Mayor or the Finance Director, can you tell me, did we go about this the right way? Did we submit some bids? How much did it cost? Because I would think that for the price that we must pay a lot of money because it's a hot topic. So I just want to hear some facts. And if you could provide those for me, I appreciate it.
Thank you, Trustee Grant. First, no, the board did not approve it. And no, the board does not have to approve it. It was not $20,000. I don't know, this is such an embarrassment of a committee. But there's so many things that's spilled out as far as statute, ordinance, whatever. My understanding is if it's not over $20,000, then I have to offer bids. As Trustee Grant just alluded to, I personally know the air conditioner that was fixed on this roof was $10,000. It did not get approved by the board, and it did not go out for bids. I follow a process. They asked me, like you said, it's his wish list to go get bids. I think I got 4 bids, and they range from, I want to say the lowest is like $13,000 up to $18,000. He made a decision which one we're gonna go with, and that's who we went with. As the trustee was alluding to, it seemed like it's a particular department that the residents are concerned with. The question with the parking lot is, it would not have been done by that particular department because they don't have a grinder. If the grinder is not in-house, you cannot do the parking lot. And that's came out of the particular person that runs that department. So I'm just amazed how business is conducted. If the mayor is asking, or your boss is asking to get something done, get it done. You don't wait a year, 2 years till you decide to go buy something. This is your guys' money. You complain that the mayor's not fixing potholes. Now you're complaining he's fixing potholes. I'm embarrassed to come here, to be honest with you, because I feel my financial experience is being abused. My talents are being wasted. Because we're asking questions. I'm sorry?
But your time is paid for.
My time, you're right, my time is paid for.
Why finish the report?
Because you're asking questions that's really not getting this thing done. Like the trustees have said, if this budget does not get passed,
guess what? Nobody gets paid. That's what we should be worried about. Getting a budget passed, not what vendor is doing the work, if it's done above board and it's done with transparency. Anybody can see the contract. So the FOIA, yes, you want to get your information, whatever that required, but it was done properly, and no, it did not get approved by the board. So that's hopefully that answers your question in detail.
Sure. So that's the only, I guess, question I have, Mr. Mayor, is when are we gonna meet next so that we can pass the appropriations?
Everybody was given, I think the finance, Mr. Finch gave everybody a sheet, with a balanced budget on it. If anybody has any questions, I'm sure they could address them to Mr. Finch. If you have his email, he's not here on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, but he does have an email. And you can address it to him separately, that you have questions. I'm sure he'll get back with you and copy me on it. And then so I can make sure that he did get it. And then go from there. As it said, as it was stated, August 1st. It's the appropriation, not the budget. The appropriation has to be passed. The budget has to be passed first, then the appropriation. That's what's allowed, that allows us to spend money.
So we're not meeting and we're just gonna vote on it on next board meetings?
We could call another meeting if it's gonna be productive. I mean, we can call another meeting, for just that reason. If it's going to be productive, then we're gonna move forward. But if we're gonna keep going back and forth, then until we can get something to the board, feels that, okay, this is what we want to do, it's up to the board. If the board wants to do, I mean, the budget that you got, the one that Mr. Finch gave you was a balanced budget, and I think it outlines how things are going to be appropriated. So if you have any questions, please feel free to talk to Mr. Finch, and as I stated before, you can email him. I don't know if he has his number, but you get it after the night. And you come up and see him on Thursday and Friday. Is that all?
That's all I have.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor, can we respond to that? The budget discussion? Are we allowed to discuss that? Otherwise, I'll make it part of it. I'd like to ask the attorney a question.
Ask the attorney?
I'm trying to be respectful of the mayor. I wish the audience would be just as respectful.
Okay, hold on. What do you want? Okay. Okay.
Mr. Attorney, there's been a couple statements made that if we don't pass the budget by July 31st, that we will not be able to make any appropriations, any payments. Is that in fact true, or is there a way to circumvent that?
It's true, but there's a way to circumvent it. If you pass an ordinance, a stopgap ordinance, similar to what the Illinois State Legislature has done routinely the last 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years, to be able to pay their bills, make payroll until they pass a budget by the state legislature.
Thank you.
Okay. Sherry, is this?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Housing Committee will meet tomorrow night in the boardroom at 7 o'clock. That's all I have. Thank you.
Boards Review Committee, Trustee Luther.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I had scheduled an ordinance review meeting yesterday, but it had to be canceled because there was a lack of quorum, sorry. But I do for the committee on the whole, I have the standing committee ordinance. And normally, you know, we present it on the committee on the whole for the board to review, and we didn't have a committee on the whole in the beginning, so I'm going to do it next week. And I am going to reschedule the ordinance review meeting, but I will announce that next Tuesday. And also, I just wanted to make a comment on the issue with the gentleman that has the signs in his yard. He's at the end of my block. And my suggestion, Mr. Mayor, and I'm glad to hear that the police chief is going to go with you, because he's kind of difficult. Very difficult, and it's very disturbing to see. You know, for a while he put stuff out there and it's like, okay, but this one was really horrible. It's like he's going off the edge. So I do not have an issue. I can also go down there with you. I mean, I've talked to this gentleman, but I'm glad you're taking the police chief with you.
I'll be going down tomorrow about 10 o'clock.
Okay. And that is my comment.
Trustee Debbie Wing.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. July 27th, the Generation Wealth Seminar, learn about wills, trusts, direct beneficiary tools, how to avoid probate court, and more, from 11 to 1. On August 17th, we have the recycling event. That's prescription drugs, paper, and electronics, which includes 1 TV from 9 to noon. On 8/17, we have a robotics workshop. 20 children ages 9 to 13 are invited to participate. The workshop will take place from 1 to 4. There are flyers distributed. There will be more flyers distributed as time gets closer. There's absolutely no charge for any of these events, and we hope to see you all there. And also, Ms. Johnson left, but I'd like to thank her for taking the time and being willing to put her name and her face with her complaint, because she speaks for all of us, and she spoke very eloquently. And I agree that the mayor needs not only the police, but he needs the board to back him up on what he's about to do. And providing I'm available at 10 o'clock tomorrow, I'd like to also be with you, and I'd like to be a part of the person to sign that complaint. So the police chief is left, so I will talk to him about that tomorrow. And as far as Mr. Gooch, I think you're back there. I think I see you. I want to thank you very much for all of your help, you and Radonna. But unfortunately, the Sauk Village, Illinois page, Steve LaRock and everybody else who writes that page, they lie pretty bad. And they don't care what they say or who they lie about. To lie about a pastor of Sauk Village is absolutely ridiculous. My pastor has never applied for the position, has never been offered the position, but apparently he's gotten Mr. Gooch very upset because it's been stated that he's been either offered the position or applied for it. Mr. Gooch has done neither, and I would highly suggest and recommend that you hand in an application tomorrow and be considered for that position, because with anybody that has the heart and the desire to help children the way you do, you deserve the position, so I think you should apply for it. And please understand, Sauk Village, Illinois page is a liar. Okay, so I think what we should do as far as the budget is to get a stopgap ordinance on the agenda next week if the attorney's going to prepare one. And I think that we should definitely all as a board look over the budget, because we never got back together as a board to discuss the budget. And we have a lot of things that we don't agree on. So I think that we do need to come back as a board. And as far as the dog issue, Ms. Couch, that dog should be taken care of immediately. So there's a lot of issues that we have that could probably be taken care of if we stop fighting and we start working. So we need to work, and we need to take the politics and the personalities out of the equation. And I think one of the best ways we can do that is by hiring a village administrator, so he can be the one to determine. Excuse me, sir, I'm giving my report. I'm not going back and forth with the audience. I think the best way we can, I'm giving my report. That's in my report. That's in my report. And I'm being interrupted and disrespected. And I've done everything I can to respect everyone. So, in my opinion, as a trustee, it would take the personalities and politics out of the equation if the board members are not the one that are presenting issues to the community, but a person that has absolutely no ties to the community other than his job to give people advice and the issues and bring them to the forefront with a purely just not biased view. That's all I'm saying. That will end my report. Thank you very much.
Senior Advisory Council Chairman, Mr. Emmett Farmer.
Mayor, trustees, our next meeting for the Senior Advisory Council is Thursday, July 11, 2019 at 5 p.m. and all are welcome. Also, game night is for the seniors every first and third Friday in the Senior Center. Please come out one of these Fridays and invite the seniors for bid twists and other games. Also, there's a Medicare awareness meeting on Tuesday, July 23rd, 2019 from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. in the Senior Center. We will be specializing in Medicare plans for seniors that have diabetes and or heart disease, and seniors that need low-income subsidies to help them on their prescription drugs. Also, there's an assessment program featuring ComEd and some more companies on July 19th, 2019 from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And that's in the Senior Center. For more information, please contact trustee Bernice Brewer on that.
Council until first August.
Okay, well, thank you. Council, then, I guess August, 1st of August?
Yeah,
August.
I needed that if we don't find it.
Okay. All right, we'll get back to that, thank you. All right, thank you all, that concludes my report.
Thank you. Unfinished business, I'll accept a motion to approve an amendment to ordinance 18-020, providing for the issuance of general obligation bonds, alternative revenue source series 2018A. Principal amount not to exceed $2.5 million for the purpose of financing the cost of certain capital projects within the village, funding certain bond issuance costs and providing certain amounts of capitalized interest on the bond. The amendment concerned Article 17, tax levy related to changing, and this is something that we had to reissue because it changed from 400,000 to 500,000. Everyone got a copy of that, I'm sure. I'll accept the motion. Second. It was moved by trustee Williams, second by trustee Bell. Any questions?
Comment. Mr. Mayor, this particular, ordinance was, rewritten, as you said, and I just wanted to put it on record that this particular, even though we are in favor of it, it was never brought before the attorneys before, and only the attorneys got to review this in the last 2 or 3 weeks or so. So, where it's been before, it was never brought before the board before, with a review with an attorney.
That's not true, trustee. I can show you the attorney got paid $15,000 for this particular ordinance.
Well, I talked to,
it was brought before the attorney. I don't know why you
for
said
the
that.
last 2 or 3 weeks,
This
this was
was
a
brought-
rewrite of what we had before, and, it was reviewed by the attorney in the last 2 or 3 weeks.
It was a review. This is
And
just.
that's what I want to put on the,
Okay.
that's a comment.
Okay. If you couldn't have done this without the attorney getting paid about it. Yeah,
It was done before without, attorney.
What was done before without the attorney, trustee? There's no, we didn't, we just, it was a motion on the floor.
It was.
Second.
Do you know the
You have a, question, you had a question?
18-20 was not reviewed by the attorney, it just got reviewed the last 2 or 3 weeks.
No, trustee, it's not the case. In fact, the attorneys are included on every email throughout this entire process. They give their feedback. They let us know whether or not they represent the village on these general
I
obligations.
understand that.
And he's included. In fact, Mr. Attorney, not correct.
Correct.
He's included on every email that the village receives regarding these funds.
Mr. McGrath, can you just give us
We're
clarity on
There's
this?
a motion on the floor.
We are not, as I said before, going to go around the table and start asking questions like that. This is a motion on the floor. If you have a question about that, you've had this for at least a few days, you could have made that phone call. Some people do call the lawyers, even though I've asked you not to, because it costs money, but it has happened. So yes, we could not pass, we would not put an ordinance together unless the lawyers already know about it. You have a question?
No, it says motion on the floor. We take a vote.
Okay, I have a
Can we take a vote?
question. Okay.
I have a question because I want to ask the attorney to clarify.
Can we take a vote?
I'm waiting on Madam Clerk to call the roll. Oh, I'm sorry. Madam, please call the roll.
Trustee Grant.
Yes.
Trustee Jazinski.
Yes.
Trustee Todd.
Yes.
Trustee Williams.
Yes.
Trustee Bell.
Yes.
Trustee Brewer.
Yes.
Motion carried. I'll accept the motion to approve payroll accounts payable and disbursements in the amount of $270,971.66. That's what I asked for a motion.
So moved.
There's
Alicia Straughter, consultant, in the amount of $510. I just made the motion.
You can't make a motion other than that.
It's done. Mr. Mayor, can I, refer to
You cannot make a motion without on the agenda.
The motion that was made by trustee Grant failed because there wasn't a second.
Yes, that's what I said.
And then there was a motion to pull or not pay Ms. Straughter.
We need clarification. At one point, we tried this, and we were told that we have to wait till the motion fails before we can present another motion. Mr. Attorney, would you provide clarification at this time? Because obviously, we want to pay our bills. So could you please, so that you can educate this board on how we make a proper motion when we don't want payables to go through in its entirety? Could you please educate us?
You're under paragraph 11, new business, A, motion to approve payroll, accounts payable, and disbursements. So it's a motion pertaining to your accounts payable. If you want to make it broken down to separate motions to achieve that, you can do that. For example, you can make a motion to approve paying disbursements. And then if there's a second, it would move forward with those disbursements. If you want to make a motion that pertains just to payroll, you can make a motion just to payroll, and then you would go to accounts payable. You could break it down.
But my question, Mr. Attorney, was this. If we have an accounts payable in its entirety, and it appears that Trustee Brewer is trying to remove one item, the last time we were told that we have to wait for the motion to totally fail, that the mayor has to call the motion failed, and then that we can present a motion amended in how we want to prepare the accounts payable. My question is, Trustee Brewer is trying to pull one item, and I think we all should get educated and clarified. She's trying to pull one item from this accounts payable. So how is she supposed to do that? Are we supposed to wait for the mayor to say his motion failed and represent a motion? Or are we supposed to state, while the motion is still on the floor with no second, that we have an amended motion we'd like to make?
The motion fails because there wasn't a second. There's nothing to amend. There could be a subsequent or follow-up motion. That motion can be in line of a motion to approve accounts payable with the exception of whatever one somebody wants to pull off of the accounts payable.
Which is exactly what Trustee Brewer just did, correct? No. She's trying to make an amendment, she's trying to make a motion. We don't need, we're trying to get clarification.
We're not talking to the audience.
Well, then, could you please get your audience to be quiet?
Don't tell me to get
I'm sorry, Madam Clerk.
That's not my audience.
Could you
That's
please?
your audience. These are your taxpayers.
Oh, this is ridiculous.
No,
I'm trying to get clarification.
So don't sit up and say my audience.
Okay,
Don't sit up and say
this
my
is
audience.
what should have occurred.
Yes.
She should have then said, I would like to amend the motion by asking that accounts payable.
You can't amend a motion that's failed because by.
Well, then you bring another motion for approval of accounts payable with whatever she wants taken off. You didn't say that. You just asked to move stuff off.
Okay. First of all, the motion, as I stated before, I said it failed. I don't know why someone feels that I don't know what I'm saying. I said it failed. After that point, there was not another motion. And then Trustee Brewer said, I'd like to make a motion to not pay Dr. Straughter's, what do you call it, invoice. I didn't know, I don't know which invoice she's referring to, but that's what she said. That was it.
So to be clear for the minutes and moving forward, the best way to present that motion would be to make a motion to pay accounts payable with the exception of whatever items you don't want to have paid. And you have to list them out, identify them, so the rest of the board knows what you're pulling off of accounts payable. And then if there's a second, then it goes to a vote. If there's no second, that motion fails.
then it would be up to somebody else possibly to make a motion to pay something.
So what is the motion that you're making, trustee Brewer?
Can I say it in, you can let me know this?
What I think you want to do is, if you want to make a motion to pay accounts payable, then it's fine, but list out whatever, if there's anything that you don't want to have paid or included in accounts payable. You have to list that out. You have to identify the item, possibly the line number, and the amount.
Okay. I'd like to make a motion to approve accounts payable with the exception to, Dr. Strada's invoice for $510, because that is not a final payment. The invoice that we got indicates it's a final payment.
You don't have to include the extra verbiage in your motion.
Okay.
That would be for comment if there's going to be any discussion or comment. It's a simple, straightforward motion, a motion to approve accounts payable with the exception of the payment to Dr. Strada in the amount that you stated.
There's a second.
Second.
It was moved by trustee Brewer and seconded by trustee Bell to pay accounts payable with the exception of invoice number 1057 in the amount of $510. Are there any questions?
Yes,
I have a question, I'm sorry.
So what's the purpose of removing the invoice again? Trustee Brewer.
Because it's not a final invoice.
Like, what do you mean not a final invoice? What does that mean?
It doesn't mean it's not a final invoice, that's what it means.
So you mean, okay, so on her invoice, she said, this is the final invoice, and we want to take that off. Why, well, you don't want to pay that because she said this is not a final invoice. Why does that matter? Like, we understand it's not a final invoice, and she knows that, just why not have her correct that going forward, but why have it removed and not pay it if it's a valid invoice, it just has the wrong verbiage? What difference does it make?
Mr. Grant, trustee Grant, then you have to decide on why you don't, but I don't want it on there because it has a final, it has final on there because then as she comes back and wants additional funds and stuff, we have final, and it's not actually final invoice. It has to be clear what the invoice is for.
So, okay, I'm trying to understand it. So you're saying you want to pull this out because it has that on there. If you change it, what are you going to do? Or are you just not going to pay this at all? That's what I'm trying to find out.
I said what I said.
What does that mean?
I'm asking people.
No, I'm asking you a question. You made a motion. And it was second. I'm just asking you so we can
follow the road.
No, I'm not following the road until I find out, clarify what it is that you're looking for. If you say it's final, so are you looking to have the invoice changed and not say final? And then, because the person needs to know what it is that you're not paying them and why you're not paying them. So I'm asking you, if the person changes the invoice to say whatever it is.
So nobody else has discussion?
I'm asking you a question, so you're not going to, there's no,
I said it's got a first and second motion.
Any other questions?
I do have a question, but somebody has to call the roll. Mr. Attorney, am I allowed to take my question?
Somebody called for the roll.
Somebody called for the roll, so I cannot take my comment.
Proper procedure.
So let me ask you this then, Mr. Attorney. We just got to, they just got to not agree to pay a person because of what was on their invoice. So my question to you is, what constitutes to pay that? How does that person get paid? How does that invoice get paid? All I was asking, what is it that they want to have on that invoice? So since everybody's asking a question, I'm asking that question. What is it? So when we sign tomorrow, when this person does get paid, they need to know why and what they need to do in order to get paid. That's all I'm asking. That's the only question I'm asking. That's why I asked that question.
And I understand, Mayor, that there's been a question to call the roll, which procedurally should be taken. I don't know if anyone in this room knows how the vote's going to go. If the motion might be approved, it might go down. If it's approved and that line item is it's not included in the motion, somebody can then make a motion to approve that separate payment. If there's a second, then there could be discussion on what needs to be done or corrected. Otherwise, it would have to be addressed at the next meeting, put it back on the warrant. So
Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Jacinski?
Yes.
Trustee Todd?
Yes.
Trustee Williams?
Could you restate the motion?
The motion is for her not to be paid accounts payable with the exception of Dr. Scribes' $510,000.
Not being able to comment this is disconcerting to me, so I'm going to have to say yes.
Trustee Bell?
Yes.
Trustee Brewer?
Yes.
Trustee Grant?
No.
Motion's carried. I forgot to, in my report, I forgot to mention, so many things that were going through, that everybody here got their tax statement. And those who get their tax statement, you saw a decrease on your tax statement. So that could be a double-edged sword. Just want to let you know, it is a decrease because we did pay this building off. The building is paid for. We paid the bond for this building. So that's why your taxes went down. But also it makes it a little harder for us to finalize a lot of things. Because we're going to get less money. That's just a comment. That was it. I'll entertain a motion to go into executive session. For the purpose of personnel. Or review of minutes.
And pending litigation.
Mr. Mayor, did you read the entire statement? It's the entire.
I didn't see what happened. No one told me that we were going into executive session. But
We already have.
it's the discussion of personnel matters and updates of any litigation. Collective bargaining matters, review executive board minutes, real estate, employment, and compensation. Moved by trustee Todd, second by trustee Brewer. Any questions? Madam Clerk?
Trustee Todd?
Yes.
Trustee Williams?
Yes.
Trustee Bell?
Yes.
Trustee Brewer?
Yes.
Trustee Grant?
Yes.
Motion carried.